This is Get a Better Broadcast, Podcast and Voice over Voice. There we are, there's a nice announcery start to today's episode. Welcome to the show where we're talking tea. And of course I'm English, so I like a nice cup of tea. The Diction-ary of Voice, our glossary of terms to help you in the studio. And we're talking today about throwaway lines and thoracic cavities. And we're going to be starting off, as I said yesterday, with a game of tag. What is a tag? What is a slogan? Well, it's the branding phrase at the end of a commercial. And it could be, I mentioned this a few days ago when we were talking about glottal stops, about a company which made butter in the UK, and it was called Country Life Butter, and their tagline was, "You'll never put a better bit of butter on your knife," which has got such a fantastic ring to it, hasn't it? I'll tell you something else that's got a fantastic ring to it. Yeah. But that has got a great ring to it. It's that branding phrase at the end of a commercial. It's the tag, or it's the slogan by which they are known. Country Life Butter. You'll never put a better bit of butter on your knife. Take a level, or take a bit for level. It's something you might hear in a studio situation from a producer, a director, or an engineer. It's the instruction given by them to you as the voiceover artist or a presenter to ask them to say some words so the volume on a mic channel can be checked. Let me give you an actual example. I read the news for a BBC radio channel and I work from home. So every day I connect to the studio at 5 a.m. and sometime around about 10 to 6, 5 to 6, the presenter of the studio will come down the line and say, "Hi, got a bit for level?" And I will start reading the first line of a story or do my introduction so they can make sure that the levels that I've got here, which are always the same incidentally, or more importantly on the desk there, on the input channel that he has brought me up on, has me at the correct level. Because of course other people, other presenters, other studios will have used that studio, that desk, that channel at different times between him finishing yesterday and him starting today. So he wants a bit of level so he can make sure that I'm peaking at the right volume. I'm not over-modding, all sorts of terms there that I've just mentioned that we've discussed previously. Take a level. Can I take a bit for level? The TalkBack is the push-to-talk microphone or intercom in a gallery or production area by which a director or producer or engineer talks to you while in the studio. They press a button so you can hear them because they're of course the other side of the glass or down the line. So using TalkBack enables them to talk to you, usually on a speaker, more likely in your headphones because that's what you'll be wearing to avoid the howl round, which we've spoken about before. To respond, you either just talk into the microphone, that open mic channel which is going through to the production area, or sometimes you may press another button on a separate microphone on the desk and talk back to them. It's the kind of microphone button that you may expect to see maybe at a sports arena or at a supermarket, where someone might lean into the microphone, press the button and say, "Cleaner to aisle 4, we got a spillage." Something like that, okay? So that's your TalkBack system. A thin voice is one which is weak. Lack of air, lack of energy, lack of resonance. It may be trained to get stronger and fuller with exercises in posture, relaxation, breath control, but a thin voice is, well, it's thin, it's pathetic, not much going on, it's easily ignored, doesn't have any gravitas, so it's unlikely that you would want to be using that in a voiceover or presentation situation. It doesn't engage people, essentially, but there are ways, as I've suggested there, to get over that, and one of those ways is to listen to these series of pocket-sized podcasts, of course. Your thoracic cavity is the area enclosed by the chest. So that's where your lungs are, and it's where your diaphragm is working as well. So that thoracic cavity, if you're sitting up well, if you've got some air in your lungs, that's what's going to be helping to create resonance. It's one of your resonance chambers as well, which will help give you a fuller voice. A throw. A throw is not something you chuck on the settee or couch or sofa. It's a passing link made from one presenter to another. So I'm throwing over to somebody. So, for example, it might be, and that's what's happening on the M25 this hour. And now, with the latest weather, here's Susie Celsius. I'm throwing to Susie with that line. Okay, it's that passing link. A throwaway line or a throwaway word is something completely different. It could be a throwaway phrase. It's when a speaker gives little or no emphasis on a word or a phrase and it totally reduces its significance. So let me think in the moment what that might be. It might be something like, there are several shops in the high street. There's Marks and Spencer's, Wilkinson's and Boots. That's a throwaway phrase. Marks and Spencer's, Wilkinson's, Boots. Yeah, I'm throwing away. It doesn't really matter. I know there are several shops in the high street. That's just an example. You don't need to know the example, but I've just put it in there anyway. Okay, you're throwing away that particular line. You're throwing away a word. You're not highlighting it. You're not colouring it. You're not emphasising it, not inflecting it. You're dropping it. You're dropping your voice. You're saying it quietly, quickly, without drawing any attention to it. That's it for today. Tomorrow we move on. V. How many voiceover words begin with V? Well, as it turns out, quite a lot. We'll find out together as Get a Better Broadcast Podcast and Voice Over Voice continues. From London, I'm Peter Stewart. The bells!